Welcome to District 6330's Noon Zoom for February 2021. Things are underway to connect youth exchange students from the 50 years and all of the countries that participated. Rick Coates and Kirk Langford will outline what will happen and how you can be part of it.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce Kirk Langford, who some of you may or may not know is a former District 6330 Youth Exchange student. He went to Brazil in 2006, survived and returned, and then he became a very active participant in District 6330's ROTEX program, which is comprised of past District 6330 exchange students, and he's a past ROTEX coordinator. He's also now a member of the Rotary Club of London's Satellite Club and a past chair of that club. He is also the District 6330 outbound youth exchange outbound coordinator, and he is assisting District Governor David Elliott as the District 6330 Public Relations Chair. And he's going to introduce and discuss our celebration of 50 years of Rotary Youth Exchange in District 6330. Thank you, Kirk, and welcome.
Ta-da! You've made one of these before. I had to dust it off, digging out of the closet, and there were a few dust bunnies, and hey, it still fits. That's really the good sign. But if you've ever heard the jingling and the jangling, then you know exactly what this is. This is a blazer of a Rotary Youth Exchange student, and this is mine from, like Rick said, and I'm a little ashamed to embarrass, but 15 years ago, so a while ago anyway. So I'm going to chat with you for just a couple of minutes about the 50th anniversary celebration. So let me get my slides here because I want to have some visuals for you as well. Okay, so we're talking about celebration of 50 years of Rotary Youth Exchange in District 6330. So on the last Noon Zoom, I was doing a quick presentation and I mentioned that I was a dinosaur in terms of my age. This time I'm allowed to say that I'm quite a young buck because I was not even close to around in 1971. But in 1971, we had our first exchange experience in our district. And since then, the program has been thriving and doing really well in the district. And so we are really excited this year to be celebrating 50 years of Rotary Youth Exchange. We were hoping and planning for an in-person event. This was well before COVID. We had our sights set on a great in-person celebration. However, due to COVID, it has become a virtual event, and it is going to be taking place on Saturday, June 5th, 2021. So let's take a look at what you can expect and what you can look forward to. There's a couple of things. It's going to start at 9 a.m. EST. We're dealing with a lot of different time zones. So the committee sat down and said, okay, what kind of works best considering we're going to have people from Asia, from Africa, from Europe. And so we felt that a morning session is going to work best for the attendees that are coming. So we're going to take some time as a group in the beginning to celebrate everything that we've accomplished as a district over the past 50 years. We're going to look at some stats in a fun and exciting way, of course, and really hear from some people that have made a big impact in the program over the past 50 years and find out what people are up to and what they're doing. There's also going to be a really wonderful opportunity for District 6330 RYE alumni, host families, and Rotarians to reconnect and to catch up. And that's going to be through the basically small breakout rooms. So for those of you that have been using Zoom a fair bit, which is a lot of us or most of us, you're probably familiar with Zoom's breakout room feature. It's going to be like that, but a little bit more enhanced. And we're going to be giving you the ability to connect in multiple ways. So not just by years. So, you went out in 1984, and so you want to connect with your 1984 cohort, but you also might say, well, I went out of Owen Sound and I would love to meet some of the other students who either were sponsored by the Owen Sound Rotary Club or were hosted and they were inbounds at the Owen Sound Rotary Club. And so we're going to give you multiple ways to connect with the participants, and whether it's a host family, a Rotarian, a fellow alumni, inbound, outbound, you're going to be able to connect with them, find out what's going on and catch up, which is going to be wonderful. There's also going to be some other fun features that we're still working on, so we don't want to say too much about it, but we're developing things like a guest book, participating in live polls throughout the event, hearing from our past district chairs, which will be really great to hear how the program has changed and flourished and grown throughout the years. I can already tell you from speaking with some of our older district chairs that they did a lot of paperwork back in the day compared to what we do today. So as I'm sitting there checking through the paperwork as outbound coordinator, I just have to keep in mind that it used to be 8 paper copies instead of the 2 we're dealing with today. But there's going to be a lot more as well. So we're really looking forward to it. We're really excited. And now you might be asking yourself, so, okay, you've sold me, I'm interested. So what the heck do I do? How do I sign up? Well, I put the link for the event in the chat and you can register there, okay? It only takes about 2 minutes to register. We just ask for some information and then away you go. At this time, we're not sending out links or anything like that in terms of joining the meeting because we don't want it to get buried in your inbox. So when you register, don't worry that, oh, I didn't get an email or I didn't get a link. That is going to come closer to the date, okay? We're still working on platforms and other aspects of the event. So we're a little bit early to be sending out any links, but we want to make sure people get registered so that they don't miss out on exciting information and of course being part of the event. So the emails and the normal stuff that come with those online events, they will come. But for the time being, what we really want to emphasize is if you're interested in attending, register right away. Don't wait. Another thing I remember from wearing my Rotary blazer is that there's constantly things dinging and banging, but also constantly things falling. So you always have to look out on the floor after that you don't step on one of your pins that may have fallen off. And I think that may have just happened. So we'll see. So we also are looking for your help. As you can imagine, over 50 years, there's a lot of exchange students, and especially when it's a worldwide international program, they're all over the place. And that's not just our inbounds, that's our outbounds too. They've moved all over the world as well. And so some of them are a little bit hard to track. So we need your help finding everybody that we can who we think will want to participate in this event. So we're asking you to do a couple of things to help us with that. The very first one is to send or forward the registration link, which is in the chat. Some of you may have also received an email with that information, and it was also included, I believe, in the last edition of the Bridge, and I'm sure we can send it in future editions of the Bridge as well. So if you can forward that information via email to friends and family that have been involved in the program here in the district, alumni, maybe you've hosted some of them, we would really appreciate it. Our records from about the past 10 years are pretty good in terms of email addresses and names, but beyond 10, 15, 20 years, it gets a little bit tricky because we didn't have the technology we have today to keep track of it. So we're still looking for those students that went out in the 70s and in the 80s and even the 90s. So if you know those people, if you were a YEO or you were just very involved in the program at the club or district level, we would really appreciate it if you could forward the registration link and information about the event to any of your contacts that you are still in touch with. Okay. The second one is we've been posting a fair bit on Facebook. So we've done it through the district Facebook group, as well as a number of exchange Facebook groups out there. If you've seen that post, if you could share it to your network as well, that would be great. And also share it to individuals. So we don't get that idea that I'll put it on my wall, but then just hope people click on it. So if I, share it, but I know Rick was a past student that I know would be interested, I'm going to send a message specifically to Rick and say, hey, Rick, I don't know if you saw the post, but here's the link, we'd love for you to register. We've had a wonderful response. We already have 100 registrants, or just about 100 registrants, which is really exciting. But I know there's hundreds more out there that we would love to have as part of the event to really celebrate 50 years of exchange. So that's what we're looking for. Other than that, we are so excited to have you on June 5th. Again, please register if you're planning on attending. And if you have any questions, I'll be on the meeting for the rest of the hour. So feel free to either shoot me a message in the chat, or of course you can use the Q&A as well, and we can see those questions there. Okay, I think that's everything from me regarding exchange.
We're so excited, even though we were disappointed not being able to do an in-person reunion. Because we knew that if we did an in-person reunion with Youth Exchange, it was going to be pretty loud and it was going to be a lot of fun. But we think this virtual conference would be a lot of fun, and we really encourage you to make sure that if you have contacts that were part of Youth Exchange, were parents of Youth Exchange, were host parents, whatever connection they have, the belief they love of Youth Exchange, please ask them, even if they're not in our district, please ask them to be part of our celebration. It's a celebration that's open to everybody. And so on behalf of all the panelists today and on behalf of all the attendees, thank you for everything you do for Rotary, and have a great day.